Dolly zoom, vertigo effect, the trombone shot. Today we're going to learn how to do it on a drone with the help of a little bit of post-production, and we'll get some shots like this. Hello, my name's Stewart Carroll and this is Drone Film Guide, the channel where we learn to fly like filmmakers. Now, if you've ever watched a television or been to the cinema, you've probably, with or without realising it, seen a dolly zoom shot or a vertigo effect shot. Essentially, normally it focuses on a person's face and you see the face static in the shot while the background goes crazy around them, creating all kinds of warped senses of perspective. And it's used for very powerful creative effects in a number of films, such as Jaws and E.T. I've actually put some links in the description below where you can learn more about the vertigo effect, the history of it, and so on and so forth from people better qualified than myself to explain it to you. However, we're going to apply it to the world of drones with the help of a little bit of simple post-production so you can replicate the effect that I've already shown you in the introduction. Let's get right into it. Okay, so here we are in Final Cut Pro and we have the original clip. I'll just play that for you so you can see what it is. Nothing more complicated than a simple tracking back shot on the Phantom 4 in this case, but you can do this on any drone. You don't need any special skills, intelligent flight modes, anything like that. Just simple flying back, piece of cake. The question is, however, how do we get from this shot to this shot? Oh, there we go, the dolly zoom. Now I'll delete that and take you through the steps. Now, if you remember what I was saying before, we want the subject to stay the same size and we want the background to do all the zooming, and that's what creates the warping effect. Now, the clue is in the title of the shot, a dolly zoom. There's two components, the dollying and the zooming. If you look at this backward motion here and the forward motion when I reverse it, that is essentially dollying. It's a tracking shot, in and out. What we don't have, however, is a zoom on the Phantom 4. So, much as I would love one, unless anyone can tell me how to zoom on a Phantom 4, we can't, so we need to rely on some post-production trickery. So, with that in mind, let's copy and paste this for a reference point, and you will see what I mean by that in a second. We want this house to stay the same size, so we want it to be the same size at the end of the shot as it is at the start of the shot. Let's have a look. Select the clip and bring up the inspector. If we go to transform here on Final Cut and go to scale, we can scale the shot up to what we think will match the end point with the start point of the clip. Right, we'll make that 160%. Now, as it happens, I know that's the correct number, but you might have to do some trial and error on your shot to get the subject at the end of the clip the same size as it was at the start of the clip. Let's just check. Roughly speaking, the size of the house is the same at the end of the clip as it was at the start, and that's why this second clip was here, so we don't need that anymore, so we'll just delete that. It was just a reference to help us out. Now, let's see what we've achieved. Absolutely nothing. All we have done is zoomed the entire clip in 160%, which doesn't serve any useful purpose whatsoever. Now, fortunately, there's this thing called keyframing on Final Cut, so I can keyframe this shot at 160%. What these keyframes allow me to do is change any of these parameters throughout the course of the clip. So on the scale here, I've keyframed at 160% at the end of the clip, and I can now go to the start of the clip and keyframe that at 100%. The result of that is that we now have a smooth zooming motion from 100% at the start of the clip to 160% at the end of the clip, and as you will have noticed, that is us done. Watch up here and you'll see the scale change as we move from the start of the shot to the end of the shot. It's 100% at the start and 160% at the end. Dolly zoom complete. I'll play that for you. So there you have it. That was pretty simple, wasn't it? All we're talking about is taking the right kind of shot and putting a little post-production zoom on it to create the effect of the shifting background while the subject stays still. Speaking of which, we need appropriate shots. So a couple of things just to mention before we go. The shot has to have a background. You have a foreground in the form of a subject, building, person, whatever it is, and a background. Without a background, there's nothing to move, there's nothing to create that illusion of warp perspective. So if you have your camera pointed at the ground from your drone, you're not going to get any sense of shifting backgrounds. It just won't work. The second point is we're talking about a post-production zoom, which by definition means a loss of resolution. In these clips we shot in 4K, which meant that we could safely zoom in to 200% if we intended to deliver the project in 1080p full high definition. As it happened in the clip, we only needed to zoom in 160% and we still got a powerful effect, so we were well within our safety zone of post-production zooming. Beyond that, get stuck in, enjoy, see what you come up with, leave some comments below, leave your clips below, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more tips like this in the future from the Drone Film Guide.